Mom, did you stuff vacation pamphlets into our mailbox again? I don't see any reason for you to be upset, dear. I simply thought that they would come in handy while you two plan your honeymoon, that's all. You completely filled our mailbox with them. Please stop doing that. The mailman constantly has to ring our doorbell to give us our mail because he can't fit it in the mailbox. I'd rather you stop giving us those pamphlets altogether, but could you at least just set them on the front doorstep instead? I was only trying to be helpful. Regardless of your intentions, it's getting out of hand. Am I clear? Don't put them in our mailbox anymore. That reminds me, have you decided on a destination for your honeymoon yet? We're still thinking about it. Why do you ask? What? You mean you haven't decided yet? But it's been 6 months since your wedding. Yeah, well, Sam and I are both busy with work and our schedules are pretty hard to coordinate, so... Oh, and that wedding. Even after I went to the trouble of planning a beautiful wedding for the two of you from top to bottom, you didn't use any of my ideas. I was so shocked. Weddings are for the bride and groom, Mom, not their parents. We planned our wedding the way we wanted. That's normal. Not to mention the wedding you planned was unbelievably extravagant. A $30,000 dress? $500 per plate at the reception? Who do you think we are, the Kardashians? You could have taken out a loan. Plenty of couples do that these days. I am not going to spend so much on a wedding that we're never going to be able to afford to buy a house, Mom. Look, we've been through all of this before, and I'm tired of having this conversation. I need to get back to work now. Since you were insensitive enough to disregard my wedding plans, I expect you to at least take my honeymoon plan into account, understand? My travel sense is impeccable. A vacation planned by me is worth more than money. This is our honeymoon, so we will plan it in the way we want to. End of discussion. Nonsense! You said yourself that you haven't decided on anything yet. It's clearly far too much for you to handle by yourselves. Listen, dear, a honeymoon is an important step for a new couple. It sets the mood for the rest of your marriage, creates memories that will last a lifetime. But you still haven't even decided on a location, much less transportation and lodging. Is this how you want your marriage to start, with indecision and procrastination? We're starting our marriage with thoughtful planning and deep discussion between the two of us, but thanks for your concern. We'll take a look at the pamphlets you gave us, okay? Is that enough to satisfy you? We'll see. Let me know when you've finalized your plans. I'll let you know whether or not they're up to snuff. Frankly, I'm not interested in your opinion. Excuse me? Like I said, I need to get back to work. Goodbye.
Hey, Sally. I just made it to the hotel fine and got checked in.
Thanks for letting me know, Sam. I hope you enjoy your business trip. I'll do my best. Travel's nice, but when it's for business, meh. By the way, I just realized that my mom sent me a text. She said you complained about her stuffing our mailbox with a bunch of travel pamphlets again.
Don't tell me she was getting on your case about our honeymoon again.
Yeah, she was. She took it to a new level this time, too. It looked like that mailbox was about to burst at the seams from all those pamphlets.
Unreal. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
I took a look at them, thinking maybe there might be a chance that one of them might be interesting, but they're all guided tours with a private guide who goes with us everywhere. Why would we want a third wheel on our honeymoon?
That reminds me. My dad told me before that my mum had booked that exact same kind of tour for their honeymoon. Dad said it completely destroyed the mood. The two of them never had any privacy at all, with the guide constantly with them, at restaurants, parks, stores, etc. But it sounded like Mum enjoyed it, at least.
You think that's why she's pushing it on us? Because she had such a good time with it?
Yeah, probably. For her part, it's not like we've told her what sort of honeymoon we had in mind. But then again, even if we did tell her, I'm sure she had just managed to find a way to barge in on us. So it's probably best we just keep her completely in the dark.
It's crazy that you're so comfortable talking about your own mother like that.
Hey, it's the truth. Just the way my mum is. She's always been. Once she gets an idea in her head about something, she has to inject herself into it, even if it has absolutely nothing to do with her. That's why I never told her about, well, you-know-what.
Ah, that. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't spill the beans to her about that. But are you sure you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I talked to my dad who knows all about it, and he gave me his blessing to keep it between us, so yeah. Let's just continue to do that.
Okay, well, as long as you're okay with it. Hello there, Sally. Today's the big day, isn't it? I bet you're so excited. I know I am. Huh? What should I be excited about? Oh, come now, dear. Are you still going to keep the act up? I know you were trying your best to keep me out of the loop, but you've underestimated me. I know everything. Mom, I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, well, you can go ahead and be that way. It doesn't change the fact that I know everything. Could you please stop talking like that and just tell me what you think it is I should be excited about? I'll see you soon. Sally, where are you? You need to come and pick me up from the airport. I'm waiting. What? What do you mean, the airport? Where are you? Okinawa. Where else? Okinawa? You mean in Japan? Which hotel will we be staying at? I hope you picked the one I recommended. The buffet breakfast looked phenomenal. You're not making any sense. Come on, Sally. I just arrived in Okinawa, so tell me where the hotel is. Seriously now, dear, get with the picture. Exactly what picture am I supposed to get with, Mom? Why are you in Okinawa? And why are you suddenly expecting me to come to pick you up from the airport and take you to a hotel? Did I miss something? I don't remember you ever talking about a vacation to Japan. My goodness, Sally, you never give up. I know your honeymoon in Okinawa starts today. What? I heard Sam talking to his father about going to the Blue Cave on your honeymoon. When I looked it up on the internet, I figured out that you were going to the Blue Cave in Okinawa, Japan. After that, I looked at their texts on his cell phone and figured out all the dates and times for your flights. I'm a real Sherlock Holmes, aren't I? Did you really go through your husband's phone without his permission? We've been married for 40 years, dear, so what if I did? But enough about that. Let's talk about our plans. So we're going snorkeling in the Blue Cave, then? Ugh, you really have terrible taste. I made a deliberate effort to remove any tours with snorkeling from the pamphlets I gave you, but you went and signed up for it anyway. I thought you had learned your lesson about listening to my recommendations after that disaster of a wedding you planned by yourselves. It's clear you need the help of a travel expert. That's why I decided that I would tag along with you on your honeymoon to help you enjoy yourselves on your trip to Okinawa. And as your official guide, I hereby declare that your silly little snorkeling thing is cancelled. Mom. But we can talk more about that later. Hurry up and come pick me up from the airport. Mom, we're in Hokkaido right now. What? Why? I guess maybe you're not familiar with Japanese geography, but there's more than one place called Blue Cave in Japan. There's one in Okinawa, yeah, but there's also one in Hokkaido, too. There is? Hokkaido? Isn't that far to the north? You're going snorkeling in that freezing cold water? No, we're on a cruise. A cruise? Sam and I actually already went to the Blue Cave in Okinawa with a group of our friends back when we were in college. We loved Japan so much that we figured we'd go again for our honeymoon. And when we learned there was another Blue Cave, we figured we'd go there. So, you're in Hokkaido? Yep. And not in Okinawa? Nope. I don't believe this. Now I'm going to have to get a ticket to Hokkaido. No, Mom. We'll already have moved on to a different location by the time you get here, so don't waste your time or money. What? Hokkaido is a pretty big place, actually, and we're on an extended tour taking us around most of the island, making brief stops at major tourism spots. Just brief stops? That won't be any fun. But we're enjoying ourselves plenty, thank you. But the best part is yet to come. We're going on a train tour that circles the island so we can see all the scenery from the train window. You what? How could just riding a train be fun? You can ride a train at home. Meh, to each their own. Everyone has their own tastes, different things they enjoy. We don't like the same things you like, Mom, that's all. Sally, dear, how dare you? I offered to plan your honeymoon for you out of the kindness of my heart, and this is how you repay me? As long as we're on the subject, Sam has something he'd like to talk to you about, so I'll hand the conversation over to him now. Sam? But why?
Mum?
Yes, Sam?
I thought you should know that we moved.
You moved?
After our honeymoon is over, we're going to go straight to our new house.
How could you? You've got some nerve dropping something like this on me so suddenly. How many times do I have to tell you? You must consult with me before making major decisions like that. Unbelievable. You always did love causing me trouble, however. I am still your mother, and I must fulfill my motherly duties. Don't worry, I'll come over to your new house to properly arrange your furniture and that sort of thing. What's the address of your new house?
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me?
And by the way, even if you somehow manage to figure out where our new house is, you're not welcome. So don't even think about coming.
What? What? But why? You need me to fix your house for you, don't you?
No, I don't.
Don't be ridiculous.
I don't need you forcing your opinions on me in every aspect of my life, Mum. Didn't Sally just tell you? Everyone has different tastes. We don't like the same things you like.
I was just trying to be helpful.
Being helpful would be offering a recommendation when we ask for one, and I wouldn't have any problem with that. But if we don't do everything exactly the way you want us to, down to a T, then you go completely hysterical. Haven't you noticed that all your friends have abandoned you one by one? Do you hang out with anyone other than Dad?
That's nonsense. They haven't abandoned me.
Oh, for the love... Don't tell me you didn't even notice. Surely you can't be that oblivious. Do you have any idea the damage you've caused other people with your behaviour? Don't you remember what happened with Cynthia a few years ago? She almost got divorced because of you.
What are you talking about?
Good grief. I don't believe you. The rumour about her having an affair? You heard one woman say she thought she saw Cynthia meeting with another man at a restaurant, and you took the liberty of telling her husband that she was cheating on him.
What was I supposed to do? Let him be cuckolded?
How about that time with my friend from high school? We went to the bowling alley after school one time, and so we smelled like smoke because, well, it was a bowling alley. And what did you do? You went over to his parents' house and lectured them for an hour about how they needed to teach him that smoking was bad for your health.
Oh, now you expect me to let a young boy die of lung cancer, do you?
And that's just the beginning. There's way more instances than that. Do you have any idea how many friends I lost because of you?
Imagine how many you'd lose to cancer if their parents let them smoke.
But I'm not even as concerned about myself as I am about Dad. He constantly has to clean up after your messes.
Ha! That man couldn't even clean a living room without me.
Every single time you make a fool of yourself and cause massive problems for people, who's the one that has to go and apologise and beg them not to sue you for harassment? Dad. I would know. Ever since I became an adult, I've been going with him for those apologies. I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of you.
Sam, you can't talk to me like that. Everything I've ever done has been to help you, to help the people around me. I was just being a good neighbour and friend.
You have a bizarre understanding of what help means, Mum. You've done nothing but cause chaos for me and everyone else in your life.
You ungrateful little brat.
This conversation is over. You're not welcome to come to our new house. Even if you should show up on our doorstep, we will not open the door, we will not let you in. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't even want any sort of contact from you at all.
You can't do this.
I can, and I will.
Oh, you obstinate child. Anyway, now that I know you're in Hokkaido, I'll do you the favor of looking up some proper tourism destinations.
Even after all that, you're still not listening.
No, you're the one who's not listening to my advice.
Ugh, I'm so sick of this. Just don't bother us on our honeymoon. Got it? Go home. Now. Goodbye.
My mother-in-law took a flight home the next day. However, when she arrived home, she walked inside to find a stack of divorce papers sitting on the kitchen table. I had heard that her husband was considering divorcing her, and I guess he saw this as the perfect timing to finally do it. He never contacted her again and had a lawyer handle all the divorce proceedings. He's now living on his own in a nice apartment near our new house. I've got to say, he seems to be doing better than I've ever seen him before now. He looks like someone who's just had a good stretch after a long nap. It's like he's a brand new man. As for my mother-in-law, she moved in with her younger brother and his wife for a while. But before long, she started to give her particular brand of advice to her brother's wife, which was, obviously, not received very well by either her brother or his wife. He was, to put it simply, furious. He kicked her out of his house not but a month after she moved in. The last I heard, she was living alone, very alone, in a small apartment in the city's outskirts.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Nicola, what's going on? I heard you were admitted to hospital.
Hi, Wendy. Yeah, that's right. I'm in the hospital now.
I was so surprised when Joe told me. I couldn't believe it.
Sorry for causing a fuss.
Anyway, you'll be able to get discharged tomorrow, won't you?
Huh? Tomorrow?
Oh no, you didn't forget, did you? We have guests due to come tomorrow morning, so I need you to be here first thing to make the necessary preparations to entertain them. I told you this, didn't I, Nicola? Yes, and before that, you'll need to vacuum the living room where everyone will be gathering, plus the entrance, hallway, and kitchen.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it tomorrow.
Good grief. So let me get this straight. Not only did you get admitted to hospital all of a sudden and without telling me, but now you're refusing to carry out your duties as my son's wife? Why did my son have to choose such a sickly woman for a wife? I ask myself that question every day.
Sickly? No, I'm not. The reason I'm in the hospital is...
Be quiet. If you got admitted to hospital and you're not injured, that must mean you have some kind of disease. If you have a disease, that means you're sickly. Chances are slim you'll ever produce an heir for our family at this rate.
No, listen to me.
Do not answer me back, young lady. I asked Joe. He told me you've been refusing to do housework lately because you feel sick and have been palming it all off on him. Do you take joy in forcing my son to do a woman's job?
I never forced him.
I regularly see my poor son wheeling a shopping cart around the supermarket on his way back from work. To think you force a grown man in a suit to go grocery shopping. His pride as a man must be at rock bottom. How could you do this to him? Oh yes, and I couldn't help but notice lately. You've started getting fat, haven't you? Just more proof you've been lazing around the house stuffing your face while you force the housework onto my poor son. My poor Joe. He doesn't deserve this.
Please, listen to me, Wendy.
You and my son will be getting a divorce.
Huh?
When you get discharged from the hospital, I'll be moving the discussion forward. Your days are numbered.
Wow, what the hell? Where did this come from all of a sudden?
There's no way a sickly excuse of a woman like you could produce healthy children. There's nothing else for it. I'll have him get rid of you and find someone healthier. That boy will have to learn how to choose a good woman.
Wow.
I have nothing else to say to you. After the divorce, you won't be welcome anywhere near mine or Joe's house ever again. Make the necessary preparations for getting out of our lives forever.
Hey, Nicola. Today was the day you got discharged from the hospital, right? I just came to your room, but you were gone already. I wonder if we missed each other as you were leaving.
Joe, I'm sorry. I had my dad come and pick me up.
Huh? Your dad? Why?
I'm at my folks' place now.
Huh? How come? That's the first I've heard of you going to your folks' place when you got discharged. I thought you'd be coming with me. What's going on? Did something happen?
Yes.
By any chance, was it something involving my mom again? Please, tell me what she did. I'm worried about you, babe.
I got a message from your mom on the first day I came to the hospital. She said your family had no need for a wife as sickly as me, and that she was gonna have you divorce me.
Huh? Sickly? Surely your hospital stay couldn't be helped.
I did try to explain that to her, but it seems she interpreted the fact my belly grew due to the pregnancy as me lazing around the house doing nothing while forcing you to do the housework. She rattled on and on. It was one unreasonable request or malicious insult after the other. She was really bad this time. At first it was because I couldn't get a word in edgeways, but eventually I just gave up trying to explain.
I see. Actually, I think this is fine. Even if you did explain to her, she would have probably just found something else to pick fault with. Rest up at your parents' place for the time being, babe. You deserve it. You've been through a lot. Anyone can see my mom is obviously a huge source of stress for you. I think both of our minds will be more at ease if you're with your mom and dad.
Sorry I didn't tell you I was coming here beforehand. I did actually plan on coming back to the house until this morning. But when my dad suddenly suggested I go back to their place instead, I changed my mind. When I thought about the possibility of your mom figuring out where I was going, because she's so overprotected of you, she goes to great lengths to be aware of every minute detail of your life. I thought it'd be best just to tell you afterwards instead.
Ah, that makes sense. You did the right thing, babe. Actually, she's been staying over ever since you got admitted to hospital. My mom, that is.
Really?
Given how things are right now, I think you two crossing paths would be terrible and should be avoided at all costs. My mom did say she'd take care of all the housework for me until you've recovered from your illness and got out of hospital. But I've been worried this whole time she'd go causing trouble behind my back. And lo and behold, she did. That woman's impossible. She can't keep getting away with this. Your dad made the right judgment.
I see. I'm glad you understand, Joe. Thanks.
Let's not correct my mom's misunderstanding that you got fat for the time being. Rest up, take your mind off everything, and leave the Wicked Witch to me.
Thanks a lot, Joe. It means a lot.
Nicola, I heard the news. And a boy at that. Nice work. But good grief, I've never met a woman as dishonest as you. Why do you have to be so standoffish with me? I had no idea you were pregnant. You haven't come to see us even once since you got out of the hospital. I want to see my grandson. I did suggest to Joe that he divorce you for your repellent behavior, but he's adamant that won't be happening. That boy is so stubborn. Now he's sulking and won't speak to me, so I can't even ask him about my precious grandson. Thinking about it now, I'm guessing you must have gone back to your folks' home and had a home birth. If you had any sense about you, you wouldn't have troubled your parents and given birth in my house instead. Oh well, I suppose you did produce a male heir, so I shouldn't be too hard on you. I'll tell you what, just this once, I'm willing to overlook it. Anyway, when will you be coming back? I want to see my darling grandson. It's almost been a month now and I still haven't seen him. We have to show off our heir to the relatives and neighbors, you know. So please get back here as quickly as you can.
Hi, Wendy. It's been a while. I have no intention of coming back.
Huh? What are you talking about? Of course you do. You're my son's wife and a part of this family. How long do you think you're going to get away with boarding at your parents' place? You have duties to this family, so get back here and carry them out. Even putting it kindly, you're a sickly, no-good excuse of a wife with more shortcomings than I can count on both hands. It would be one thing if you at least accepted that and worked hard to serve family by way of making up for your defects. But no, you're stubborn and disobedient to boot.
I'm a sickly, no-good excuse for a wife, huh? This was the first time I've had to go to the hospital in my whole life, and the doctors actually told me I'm very healthy.
They did? In that case, why would you have to be carried off to the hospital in such a dramatic fashion? It sounded like you caused quite the fuss. I'm sorry to break this to you, but that only tends to happen to sickly people, my dear.
Because the morning sickness was horrendous.
Huh? Morning sickness?
I could barely stand for a few minutes without getting out of breath, so my doctor recommended I admit myself to the hospital to be on the safe side.
You were on the maternity ward the whole time?
That's right.
Why didn't you tell me? I'm your mother-in-law.
I didn't feel like it anymore.
What?
I did intend to start keeping you in the loop once I entered my 12th week. But then when the morning sickness got bad and I admitted myself to the hospital way earlier than planned, I thought it'd be better to let you know then. I spoke to Joe about telling you too. Then, literally just as I was about to send you the message announcing the pregnancy, I got a torrent of hateful, abusive messages calling me every name under the sun.
I see.
When I tried to explain the real reason I was in the hospital, you interrupted me every time, telling me to be quiet or ordering me to stop answering back like I was some mischievous child. You went on and on and on, complaining at me endlessly. You made me feel so small at a time when I already felt bad enough due to my condition. It dawned on me that with things like this, if on the off chance I gave birth to a daughter, you'd probably lose your mind, and I actually felt scared for my own and my child's safety. which is why I sought safe haven at my parents' place and decided to keep quiet about everything until after the birth.
I see. Anyway, never mind all that. It's in the past now. The most important thing here is that you produced us a male heir. Everything turned out all right in the end. All's well that ends well, right? Let's just let bygones be bygones, okay?
What?
So when will you be coming back here? I want to see the little heir's face.
You think I'm just gonna forget about everything that easily? Bye.
Wait, what? Nicola?
Mom, it's Joe.
Oh, Joe, I just had some awful messages from Nicola.
Awful, huh? I saw the whole conversation. I sat next to her.
What? You're together now?
Yes, we're together now. Or rather, I moved into her place.
What?
I'm only going to give you the quick rundown here.
The quick rundown?
This weird obsession you have with looking at our family like we're part of some kind of royal succession drama in medieval Europe? Eldest sons, brides, heirs. I couldn't care less.
Huh?
All I care about is protecting my family, Nicola and my son. And I have no interest in continuing to have anything to do with anyone who bullies my wife. That's why we're cutting all ties with you, Mom.
Cutting all ties?
It goes without saying, but you'll never see your grandson.
Oh my god, that child is the heir of our dynasty, just like you were. Do you seriously think you could do this to me?
Dad gave us the go-ahead. What's the problem?
What?
Anyway, Mom, I gotta ask. Heir? Dynasty? What the hell are you talking about? You're the only person I've ever heard using those old-fashioned words outside of movies. Besides, Dad works in an office cubicle looking at numbers on a screen for crying out loud. He's hardly the king of France.
But...
Nah, no buts. That's it. Never contact us again.
Wait, Joe!
After that, my mother-in-law completely lost it and sent me lots of hateful messages and voicemails, blaming me for taking her family away from her. But Joe showed me how to block her, and I never heard from her again. The next day, just to be on the safe side, we both bought new phones and changed her numbers. She did embark on a desperate search for the whereabouts of her estranged son and grandson. But in spectacular irony, she didn't even know where my parents lived because she had such little interest in me. As a result, there's no danger of her tracking us down and showing up out of the blue. And we're living our new family life in peace and harmony. Oh, and by the way, we are still in contact with my father-in-law, who's always been super supportive towards us. He gives us status reports on his wife from time to time, but sadly, he says she still hasn't shown an ounce of remorse, instead blaming everyone except herself for the mess she made. It seems the prospect of her meeting her grandson is still nothing but a distant hope. Last we heard from him, he's seriously considering divorce. Can you blame him?
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Kara, is it true that you quit your job?
What? Oh, yes. It's true. I quit my job.
Oh, what are you doing? The company my husband works at went bankrupt, so we were planning on having you and Adam give us money from now on.
Huh?
Is this some sort of harassment? Oh, it is, right? Is that why you quit your job?
No, it's not. I didn't know your Mr. Dawson's company went bankrupt until now. I quit my job at the company because the side job I had started gaining momentum, so I decided to just quit it.
What? A side job? Does that mean you're just going to work for some extra cash? You're going to rely on Adam's salary and use the money from his side job for yourself, right?
No, that's not it. It's been 2 years since the salary I earned from my side job greatly surpassed the one from my job at the company. It was getting difficult to do both, so I decided to choose one and focus on that. I talked with Adam about this.
Oh, well, why didn't you tell me about it?
Well...
You didn't tell us because you're hiding something, right? Which means that this side job of yours doesn't pay as well as you say it does. If I had known about it, I never would have let you quit your job at the company.
This is why Adam said it's best if I didn't tell you guys. You don't listen to a word I say and just immediately start attacking me.
What?
Have you heard the term toxic parent?
Oh, what are you on to?
This is the perfect timing, so I'll tell you. Adam and I are going to be moving.
You're moving?
I have no intention of explaining when you can't even understand why I quit my other job. I'll just say that this was Adam's idea.
Hold on! It's you and Adam's job to support us!
Why don't you two ask your other son for help, the one you gave all your attention to?
What? But Damien is too sensitive of a person to get a job. Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Don't you realize that pampering him like that is probably why he's 41, unemployed, and living with his parents?
What?
Goodbye.
I finally found your new address, Kara. It wasn't easy. I had to give my relatives a bunch of money to make them talk.
Huh? Mrs. Dawson?
Oh, it looks like you didn't block me.
I didn't block you on purpose because I didn't know just what you people would do if I completely shut you out.
Well, it looks like someone's still as rude as ever. Anyways, it seems like you still don't have a job.
What?
I've been watching you these last few days, but you only leave the house when you go shopping or jogging.
You've been watching me? Just what are you thinking?
I know that you're not in the house right now, so I had my stuff moved into the house.
What? What do you mean your stuff? How did you even get in?
Well, I broke that big window that leads from the yard to the living room.
You what?
Anyway, me moving into your house isn't important. I'm just surprised you still don't have a job. Isn't it normal for wives these days to have one? And to think I came all this way just so you and Adam could finally do your job and support me. Why is it that you haven't done anything to prepare for my arrival?
Because we were never planning on letting you move into our house.
What did you just say to me?
I told you this before. Did you forget?
You didn't tell me anything.
Okay, I'll be there soon. Adam, you're still outside, right?
What's wrong, Kara? I dropped off the stuff and on my way home. I'm at a gas station right now.
Oh, I'm just glad you didn't bump into her.
What is it?
Your mother found out where we live and broke in through the living room window.
What? She broke the window? Looks like she's still as crazy as ever.
Judging by the text she sent earlier, she still hasn't given up on getting us to support her. She says she's moved into our house, so she's probably not just going to leave.
Jesus.
What are we gonna do? We probably have to go home, but it's going to be quite the hassle once we do, since your mom's already broken in.
This is the worst possible timing. Oh, I see. Now, huh?
What is it?
I tried thinking about it from a different perspective. Ever since she found out I worked at A Industries, Mom hasn't stopped telling me to give her money.
Yup.
She ignored me at first when I told her about the company I got into after I graduated high school. But she found out that it was one of the largest companies in the industry after I got interviewed by a local newspaper, which is why she now thinks I get paid well.
So that's why. I was truly shocked when I found out that she wanted you to give her basically your whole salary every month.
Truly. At the time, it was only 7 years since I'd graduated high school and got the job at A Industries. My parents probably thought that I got paid as much as someone who graduated from a prestigious university and got an official position. It looked like aliens the way they kept asking me for money. I assume nothing's changed in their attitude, so she's probably gonna ask me for money again. But now that it's only 2 weeks until I start my new job, I'm basically unemployed right now.
Oh, I understand. You mean that we should take advantage of the situation, right?
Let's decide on what to do before we go home. Where are you right now?
I'm at the supermarket I always go to.
Okay, I'll pick you up by car, so wait for me by the entrance of the main road. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Got it.
Kara? I heard what you and Adam were talking about last night. To think that you were actually against me moving in and have no intention of supporting me. But aren't you the one who's living off of Adam's salary? You're just afraid that if I move in, you won't be able to spend as much money on luxuries anymore, aren't you? Of course that's it. The fact that you still don't have a job is proof. If you have no intention of getting a job and supporting your mother-in-law, then get out. Starting from today, this house is me and Adam's. I decided that I'm going to depend on Adam from now on, which means that there's no room for parasites like you anymore.
I understand. I'll leave tonight.
My, you're so obedient.
It just means that I have no intention of supporting you, and neither do I want to live with you. I'm going to be packing my things, so goodbye.
Acting all tough, are we?
Did you get there yet, Kara?
Yup, I just arrived. I ate the dinner I bought from the convenience store while surrounded by cardboard boxes.
That sounds fun, I guess.
I've got work that's nearing the deadline, so I'll need to set up the computer though.
I see. You seem as busy as usual, but don't overwork yourself, alright? Mom's calling me. I'll settle things in 3 to 4 days, but I won't text you too much just in case.
Got it. I'll wait for you here. Good luck.
Thanks.
Kara, get back here immediately.
What?
Now that it's come to this, I don't mind if it's just you. Get a part-time job or something just to earn the money to support me.
Huh? You kicked me out of the house after insulting me, and now this?
It's not my fault. I didn't know at the time. Adam hasn't left the house in the past 3 days despite it being a weekday. I asked him what's wrong when he told me he wanted to quit his well-paying job at the company. He told me this morning. I kicked him out and told him not to come back until he finds a job. He's probably looking for one right now, but someone as useless as him probably won't be able to find a job so easily. You will be the one who will support me until he comes back. Get back as soon as possible.
Have you ever thought about getting a job yourself?
Huh?
I heard this from somebody else, but it seems you got divorced with your husband. It all started when your eldest son, Damien, left the house. Because Adam and I have left, you two had no one left to rely on. So you forced Damien, who's been unemployed for over 20 years now, to get a job at a local bread factory. But once the 3 months of probation was over, he was assigned to someplace far away. Damien apparently realized that working at a bread factory was his calling, so he went. No one's been able to contact him since.
I had no idea something like this would happen.
Mr. Dawson was the one who gave Damien the pamphlet for the job, right? You blamed him for Damien leaving, which was the start of a huge fight. In the end, you were kicked out of the house. You realized that at this rate, you would become homeless. So you used the money you got after the divorce as a bribe to get one of our relatives to give you our address. Am I right?
Yes, but still, what is it with you two? How is it that both of you are unemployed?
Well, I for one plan to work hard from now on.
Yes, keep doing so. So you're finally going to do what I say. Then go get a job so you can support me.
No, that's not what I meant.
Huh?
You know, the two of us were actually preparing to move before you barged into our house.
What, you're moving again?
Didn't you notice that all our stuff has already been moved out?
Oh, now that you mention it, it is a bit empty here. Oh my god, is your stuff really not here?
You really didn't notice until I told you? You really do only think about yourself, do you?
Well, I guess it's alright. At least I have a house now.
Oh, we're only renting that house.
Huh?
We've already terminated the contract, so get out of here by the end of this month, okay?
What? But...
Adam's arrived at the new house, so bye now.
Kara! But then who's going to support me?
Damien was the one who told me about his parents' divorce. Me and Adam's successful escape from his toxic parents apparently had a huge impact on him. He took advantage of being made to work at a bread factory and asked himself to be assigned someplace far away. Nowadays, he seems busy with work, saying that there's so much to remember. But he does seem like he's having fun. Mr. Dawson also apparently found a job, albeit a low-paying one. Miss Dawson, on the other hand, realizing that she was now all alone after failing to move into her house, she headed to the nearest job center. She was temporarily relieved after finding a job that came with accommodation, but apparently was so relieved that she was late for her first day. She didn't even apologize and keeps making similar mistakes every day. It's probably only a matter of time until she's fired.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.